Good morning, everyone. My name is Glenn. This is Massive Expansion. Been a little bit since I made a video, but I took a quick second to just this morning write down a few things that I do almost every day, and I just wanted to share them with you. So, for sure, sleep, I try to prioritize. I pray every day with feeling-based prayers to send that vibrational frequency out for whatever or whoever I'm praying for. Ice baths I don't do very often, but I should. I do cold showers almost every day. Actually, every day. At some point, it'll be pretty cold water. The colder, the better. I do high intensity interval training. Really good for improving your growth hormone and getting BDNF firing in your brain, brain-derived neurotropic factor. I think that's right, yeah. Exercise, yoga, breath work, zero sugar I'm conscious of because of the obvious reasons. Don't go straight in your mind to fat, becoming fat. That's not where it is really. It's more of a not wanting to just keep firing away on that dopamine button to avoid the crash. Just having it in the form of fruit, or if I'm really wanting to go over, I'll splurge and maybe have some ice cream or whatever it is, and feel good about it also, because the placebo effect is prevalent. You got to think of that, because if you feel guilty about what you're eating, regardless of what it is, you're going to release different hormones in your body that could cause that sugar to become even more toxic, and you don't want that. So anytime you're eating anything, enjoy it. Eat it slowly, calmly, and deservingly. You know what I mean? So, and that kind of brings me to another point. Earn those cheat days. You'll feel much better about cheating, if you could call it that, when you do it. So, breath work is very important, and you can do this at any time. And I think in the very last video I made, I was describing how I learned a little shortcut for myself where I don't think about breathing first. I think about relaxing my body first. Like even right now, whatever happens naturally is what you want to do. So if you have to get the signaling going for a calm state in your mind or body, do whatever it takes. Start with a deep breath, or just think, relax my body. I find that that's very helpful. When I think about relaxing my stomach and I let it go, just let it go. And I actually maybe even put my hand on it so I can identify it, like it's a mind to muscle connection type of thing. It's very helpful, very helpful. And so, yeah, breath work is important. So time restricted eating is something I do every day. And that happens naturally when you don't eat very much sugar. And you can kind of make a conscious decision to eat all of your calories in a certain window of time. But again, because of the placebo effect and not wanting to have harmful stress hormones like cortisol, specifically cortisol, released into your body, eat naturally, eat comfortably without stress. So if you can consciously eat all of your calories in, let's say, a 4-hour window, which is optimal for digestion, okay? Because you have all that time, 20 hours of a day, where you're not having hormones being released due to taste, like insulin being secreted from the pancreas. All of your organs and everything, the signaling changes. And all of your blood goes to your stomach and to other various parts of your body, obviously, to do damage control, to do for digestion, and then also to repair. You're in a constant state of repair. Your body is subconsciously pumping blood, and it's regenerating. Brand new cell growth. And it does it best when you're at a calorie deficit, but also when all of those calories were consumed in a smaller window of time. Okay, so I practiced that. Fasting is here. I do have some coffee, and I take breaks from that, again, because I don't want to be hitting that dopamine button all day. I try to limit the coffee intake or caffeine, depending on where it comes from. It's always organic. It makes a big difference. I didn't used to think so, but it does. And cold brew makes a big difference because of tannins and a few other things that I'll get into in other videos. But coffee is helpful if you use it like medicine. Everything can be used in micro doses like medicine. And it's a really good way to do things because you kind of become like your own, scientist. And you're working on different science experiments every day with your body. And the less you eat in different forms of calories, the easier it is to monitor what is doing what. So I won't go off too far with that, but you kind of get the gist of that. Calorie restriction is best when it's also time restricted calorie restriction. This stuff is also verifiable. You can research the stuff. I advocate researching for yourself always, because I'm only describing the things that I do for myself that have worked for me. You're always going to want to do your own research. Here I have micro supplementation. I hadn't been supplementing for a while. I had just been wanting to see what my body was going to do naturally through fasting and detoxing. But I've since brought back supplementation in the form of digestive enzymes, amino acids, along with some different, I don't want to say slip-ups in my diet, but I guess for lack of a better way to say it, that's what I'll say for now. So I strongly advocate supplementation, especially if you're thinking about starting a new protocol where you're going to be using calorie restriction as a form of improving your quality of life, through improving your physical health. Time-restricted eating, fasting, elimination diets, single-ingredient diets where that's an easy test to just eat one thing for a few days, like one thing literally, like just drink tea, or just drink raw milk, or just eat green vegetables. I'm a fan of every diet. I use them all of them. They're all good. Veganism, vegetarianism, the old Atkins diet, ketogenic diet, carnivore diet. All of these diets, they're all good. There is a good, better, best, okay? At the top of the food pyramid right now, it is said, and And again, placebo has a lot to do with this. The power of suggestion. It is said that organ meats are at the top of the food pyramid, being the most nutrient dense. And there's a strong argument for that. So when you go to a single ingredient diet, like to see what it would do, like, you know, you're eating raw or liver, okay, cooked perfectly. I mean, I haven't had this recently, but I hear it's not super great, so you got to make it really, really well, you know. But then there again, if you're going strict carnivore, you're not going to even want to put any seasoning in it. You're just going to want to put the highest quality salt you can have. And then it's even more important to cook it to perfection, because you don't want something that has been, where you don't want anything that has all the nutrients cooked out of it because you cooked it too long or you cooked it improperly. But anyway, these are good to do for science experiments on your body to see what they'll do. But you could switch from single ingredient, being organ meats, liver for example, or only green vegetables for a few days or a week only. And then you can even combine those two. Green vegetables are said to be the most nutrient dense. And then we could debate that too, because, you know, they say colored vegetables, you know, you want a wide variety, but, you know, there's a lot to go into there. But either way, all of these things work and they all complement one another, and there's so many different ways of doing these things. I use every one of these different methods to keep the body guessing. It's Hormesis. Basically, I don't even know the definition. I think is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's a hormetic response. It's vegetables as a stressor, organ meats as a stressor, which is the body being used to using one source of nutrition for fuel, and then being tricked by that source no longer being available, and now there's a new source. So I do this way as often as possible, but lately I have been bringing back in some amino acids, exogenous ketones. I didn't write that down, but I have been using those. Exogenous ketones are, I haven't researched this in a while, but they're basically something, it's a fat water, what is this? The body produces ketones already. They're actually called ketone bodies, and we use them for fuel. It's basically fat for fuel. It's your body's ability to convert the fat that's there into fuel. It's BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate or butyric acid. And exogenous just means it comes from outside the body. And this product is very effective. It's one of the most powerful. The one I have right now is, it's called, I have to get it. I'll remember in a second. But Exogenous Ketones Flavorless by Julian Bakery. And it's an amazing product. It's up there. It gives you incredible energy. And even if you're not, it's best when you're a keto guy, when you're already keto, okay? Whoever you are, whatever your diet is, if you're already having zero carbohydrates or very low carbohydrates anyway, and no sugar, enough to where your body is in ketosis, those exogenous ketones work the best and are complemented by C8, caprylic acid. A good source is brain octane. It's derived from coconut oil, but C8 is up there with the among the highest qualities. That's what I use. It's brain octane by Bulletproof. Amazing stuff, great energy. You don't want to. It's best if you don't take the stuff with carbohydrates, because it could have a tendency to stick together, and you want to burn the fat that you have on your body and not make more. So it's best when you have this with no sugar. Okay, what else we got here? Apple cider vinegar. I've been doing this every day again. I stopped for a while and I started getting a little bit of heartburn because of just after the last fast I did for 9 days. My diet wasn't perfect. I gotta say, I actually went off a little bit started with one date, which is what I don't normally eat. It has sugar. One date has about up to 15 grams of sugar. And I actually, it led to like me breaking my regimen quite a bit. And I thought, okay, placebo effect is something I got to consider. I'm going to go ahead and accept that I'm not eating strict keto right now. And I'm going to just enjoy whatever I'm eating. And so I decided to have a couple of things I wouldn't normally have, like some Hawaiian barbecue and macaroni and rice. And so I paid a little bit of a price for that. I felt it even with inflammation in my joints, and I wasn't as clear-minded, a little foggy. That happens. Okay, moving along here, almost wrapping this up here. Oh, green Vibrance is also something that I hadn't been taking for a while. I was like kind of cycling on and off of it. It's got 4 billion, I think it's 4 billion probiotics per serving. Every known nutrient, says right on the bottle, supports digestion, circulation, immunity, blood flow, and so on. But it's plant-based everything. It's so many servings of vegetables in one scoop. And I was mixing that with pre-workout, organic pre-workout, that consisted of beetroot powder or beet juice powder. The nitric oxide blend was like kale, spinach. Amazing, really good stuff. Sugar-free, sweetened with stevia, which is up there with the top 1, 2, and 3 sweeteners that I know of. I think monk fruit would be the #1 sweetener. But I would have that with some Himalayan pink salt and some apple cider vinegar. I mixed all that together in the morning, and I'm doing that right now. I skipped today because I had coffee instead, bulletproof coffee. But I'll probably, maybe if I take a break from caffeine, I'll be just having green Vibrance with just water. I'm trying to have water at room temperature also. There's some therapeutic benefits of that. Also been taking a product called Stone Free. I bought it for someone else who was getting ready to have surgery on his gallbladder. But I haven't been in touch with that person, and I don't know. Stone Free supports liver, kidney, gallbladder, and melts away stones. If you have kidney stones, gallbladder stones, these are no joke, painful things. And I haven't had any problems with this, but I noticed that I decided to take this product for myself. It's got, I don't have it in front of me, but turmeric listed, turmeric and a few other bitters that are listed, marshmallow root, dandelion root, and I think licorice root. It's a beautiful blend of herbs that are very helpful for more than just stones, I've noticed. I'm really enjoying the benefits of this. Let's see, okay. I've been listening to videos every day, podcasts on health and science. I think this is important because we should be reading as much as possible, but I also believe that listening to audiobooks and podcasts and YouTube videos, the new reading, because you can't always read. The first thing that comes to my mind with reading off of your phone is the blue light exposure, the harmful light. First, I just would prefer to not be looking at my electronics that put off EMFs already. But, you know, if you're doing it in the day and it's far away from, you know, your bedtime, then the blue light exposure is not going to affect your sleep. But even better than that, and we can debate this, I think listening to audiobooks and listening to videos and podcasts is very helpful, very useful, because you can do this while you're driving. Not necessarily watching, but you can listen. And it's an incredible dynamic, because when you're listening and you're doing something else, you retain a lot more information than you think, because the subconscious is listening. So keep that in mind. You know, listen to high quality information. Okay. Now, just wrapping this up, I got a little list here quickly, things I should do more, and that is use the Beamer. My sister has this product called Beamer. I'm not even sure what that stands for, but it improves circulation, promotes healthy blood flow using PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic fields, to deliver a patented therapeutic signal. And what I've noticed in this is that you do feel a sense of inner body calm from it. And your body has more blood flow. There's more circulation to all the micro blood vessels that don't normally get reached from head to toe. So it's an amazing product that at first I was skeptical of, because you don't feel anything, you don't see anything, but it takes a little bit. And I was also, and I'm still conscious of the placebo effect, you know, because when you want something to work for you, it works for you. But the more I researched these electromagnetic fields and the signaling, the more I realized that there's definitive science that supports this technology. And I don't know too much more about it. That's all I can say about that for right now. It complements my TDCS unit. I made a video on that, transcranial direct current stimulation, which is, you feel that instantly. That's like, it's like taking a pill. And, you know, 20 minutes of that with those electrodes on your head, no joke. What else do I got here? I'm gonna miss some things, but this was supposed to be quick. I'm already longer than, it's my longest video yet. I think that I should sing more. I've always enjoyed singing, and I've noticed that when I have relaxed enough, I'll sing automatically to, you know, whatever it is I'm hearing. You know, I'll search a talented individual on like YouTube from The Voice or America's Got Talent, whoever. And I'm like, wow, I'm so impressed with this. And then when you start doing it yourself, you realize that in the singing, your vibrational frequency changes. You automatically relax your body, and there are different frequencies that, you know, a full range of frequencies that are, you know, going up and down, you know. And again, I'm not too knowledgeable on these, but, you know, there's theta waves, there's delta waves, there's gamma. I think that may be like the ultra relaxation frequency. But when you sing, these vibrations are going through different octaves in your body. And so even if you're not singing, you can hum, even whistling. I wrote down sound therapy. I don't even know if I mentioned it, but it is a thing. Sound therapy is something that we all should do. All of these things, I believe, what else? I wrote something else down back here. Okay. The laws of cause and effect tell us that if we do what is foundationally good for our bodies, first, everything else has to fall into place. Certain things take longer than we'd like, of course, but this is nothing new. So this is very important. Foundationally, like the things that I listed that I do, even though it took me almost 25 minutes to, go through these things, they don't take very much time to do every morning, but you should prioritize these things. These things should be a must. Sun gazing is also very therapeutic. It's very good. Actually, in the early morning, they say, I think it's, again, do your own research, but within the first 15, 30 minutes, I think hour at the most, when the sun isn't so bright and powerful, you can look at the sun, using your common sense to judge what is comfortable for you. And taking in vitamin D and signaling a whole list of different signals are sent to your mind and body by looking at the sun as it comes up in the morning. And I don't do this enough. I forget. And there is time to do this. If we all make time to do these things and so many other things that are beneficial for us, we actually take this time back for ourselves to do these things first, foundationally, fundamentally, then every other part of our lives will just fall into place, as I said. So this video's gone on long enough for today. I just wanted to get back into this. It's been a while since I did it. I think this caffeine has really kind of helped me. I didn't sleep very well last night. But yeah, wanted to make a video describing a few things I do and things that I feel should be staples for everyone. And so I hope everyone has a great day. And I look forward to making another video soon. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to try to do one every single day. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.